it's very easy to become so granular, so invested in the news, so frightened about what's going on every day that you fail to rise to the mountaintop and ask yourself, what's really going on here? And so point number one, go macro. It's also about being strategic or being a philosopher. Right now, with so much noise, so much stress, so much difficulty, so much bad news, so much toxicity, you definitely want to pull back from the noise and make the time to reflect. You want to read some books about perhaps how economies have worked for hundreds of years, perhaps how great leaders have navigated hard times. You want to read some books about perspective on life. What is life about? Ask yourself this question: what's going on here? And then deconstruct it in terms of the pandemic, in terms of the global economy, in terms of your national economy, in terms of what job loss and social unrest will mean for you, your family, your career, your business. 2, be prescient. Once you crunch the data, once you read valuable news, once you study the great books, once you listen to the videos of the people who know what they're talking about, whether it's about the coronavirus, whether it's about the economy, whether it's about productivity, whether it's about entrepreneurship in times of crisis. If you are depleted right now, if you are craving pizza every night right now, if you don't think there is a brighter future ahead right now, what's the antidote? Get stronger. You know, for the people who are terrified right now, ducking their heads in the sand and saying, I wish this would all go away. And I say this with great respect, but the solution is not to duck your head in the sand. The solution is to grow stronger as an entrepreneur, as a leader, and as a human being. We are built to grow. We are built to change. That's what neuroplasticity is all about. How do you grow stronger as a leader, as an entrepreneur, so that your confidence rises, so your energy rises, so your hope rises, so your execution ability rises? Battle-proof your 4 interior empires. If you're afraid right now, if you don't have any energy, if you can't get out of bed, if you think it's all falling apart, work on yourself so you fortify your interior heroism. Don't blame the world. Don't blame the economy. Don't blame the coronavirus. That's giving away your heroic power to build an even better life right now. I think that's a really important point. Every time you complain, blame, give away your power to the coronavirus, to the economy, you're becoming more powerless. You have power because you are human. So the antidote to fear is self-mastery work. And if you were to ask me, when's the best time to do it? Of course, 5 a.m. Why do you think the saints and the titans and the warriors and the great poets and the great sages got up before the sun? There's no distraction. It's quiet. Your brain is fresh. Your heart is open. You read a book on philosophy. It goes deeper because you are more present, more available. Here's a great question you can ask yourself. How can I learn to love the pain? How can I learn to roll with the discomfort? If you are an entrepreneur, how can I stop resisting what is and become more adaptive and use and leverage the mess and storms to build a faster, more agile, more innovative, more profitable, more high-impact company? Once you crunch the data, once you read valuable news, once you study the great books, once you listen to the videos of the people who know what they're talking about, whether it's about the coronavirus, whether it's about the economy, whether it's about productivity, whether it's about entrepreneurship in times of crisis. Once you have gone macro, tactic number one, tactic number two is ask yourself this question: where's it all going? Where's it all going? One, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening in the world right now? What's happening with the second rounds of, what do they call them? Second waves of coronavirus. What's happening with the global economy? What's happening with the central banks? What's happening with unemployment? What's happening to small businesses? Question number one, what's happening? Question number two, great question I propose to you. What are the threats and vulnerabilities? What are your threats and vulnerabilities? What are your pivots and your protections? You want to do some scenario planning for your business, for your family, for your life, so that you have your protections in place. Number four, what are your opportunities? Do a list of all of the opportunities right now to serve more people, to create astonishing value for your marketplace, to build a fantastic team, or to lean out your business, or to get really fit, or to use the next few months as a laboratory on personal mastery.
Are you so busy managing your feelings and the feeling of the people around you and trying to make them feel what you feel and need what you need and want what you want, that you're not making progress in life? No matter how accomplished, no matter how healthy, no matter how fruitful you are, somewhere in your life you are either being attacked or about to be attacked in some area of your life. You will never win a battle if you're having a heart experience in a head fight.
Life, as human beings, we've been through challenges before and we've got through them. And therefore, reconnecting with how that's been done before is a beautiful way of learning how to overcome current challenges. So you can either look at your past, but real wisdom lies in looking at the past of people who made a difference. You look at people like Martin Luther King, you look at people like Gandhi, you look at people who made world-changing differences. The point is, connect with stories that empower you to see the mindset of people who overcame the biggest challenges on the planet, whatever it may be, right? People have been through incredible struggles, incredible challenges. You can connect with their power, their passion, their mindset, their personal revolution and evolution and growth by connecting with their stories. Go out there and seek those stories, right? Go out there and find the stories of people that motivate you and apply them to your challenge. Right? Difficult times are great times to find great people. It's difficult to find great people when times aren't tough because everyone's so busy doing their own things. When times get tough, we kind of gravitate towards each other because we realize that unity in diversity will actually help us grow. Finding that uplifting community, find it wherever it is, but find the people that you are gravitating towards for something positive. See, uniting over something positive versus uniting over something negative is a lot more powerful, but we first gravitate towards each other because something bad's happening, and then we turn that into a positive. That's when we get into a really uplifting community. Shauna says create, draw, paint, sing, photograph, dance, garden, sculpt, whatever works for you. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Finding strength in difficult times is changing the stories you tell yourself. And substitute those negative words for positive words. Switch it around to what you want it to be. Read these powerful words of Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King. Substitute your inner dialogue for the dialogues of great people who've made a difference. When we start thinking and living and speaking and breathing like them, not to be like them, but to bring about a change like them, that's when you will overcome that anxiety about the future. When you start seeing the unseen, that which you didn't learn if things hadn't gone wrong, that breeds positivity. If you ask yourself, what can I learn? Before you ask yourself, what can I do? After you ask yourself, how do I feel? Ask yourself, how do I want to feel? And after asking yourself, how do I want to feel? Ask yourself the question, right? Ask yourself that question, what can I learn? All right, what can I learn? Ask yourself, how do I feel? Ask yourself, how do I want to feel? And when you ask yourself, how do you want to feel? You have to ask yourself, what can you learn? And then when you learn from that, then you can ask yourself, what can I do? Look at challenging situations as opportunities for growth, as an opportunity to learn, as an opportunity to change, be the change. Or we can look at them and really feel down. We can even feel like that, right? But we have to recognize it's not permanent. We've got to accept that none of our feelings are permanent. They don't need to be permanent, it's a choice. So there will be inevitable setbacks here and there. And there will be those moments when the buoyancy of hope will be transformed into the fatigue of despair. Our dreams will sometimes be shattered and our ethereal hopes blasted. We may again, with tear-drenched eyes, have to stand before the bier of some courageous civil rights worker whose life will be snubbed out by the dastardly acts of bloodthirsty mobs. But difficult and painful as it is, we must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith.